All right, guys. So the 3-part series I did about Breonna Taylor being, a part of a drug cartel in Louisville. It was received very well until people started sharing it on Twitter and Facebook, and then the whole liberal crowd from Twitter and Facebook, the whole blackity black crowd, black people can't do no wrong, every black person's a saint that type crowd came in, and they started making some comments in the comment section, and I want to address some of those comments. First of all, I'm black. Yes, I'm black. Second of all, I've been through a lot of the things that Breonna been through. I've seen a lot of those things head up, from the inside. And listen, man, there's no conspiracy, man. It just is what it is, man. Like, y'all didn't know her. If Breonna was standing out in front of the grocery store with a damn sign saying, I need some money to feed my kids, how many of y'all would have gave her some money? 95% of y'all would have walked past her. 5% of y'all would have thrown something in her cup. She knew the people she knew just like everybody else. And the people in her family, and they cared about her. Now that she dead, everybody care about her. Now that she dead, everybody cares about her. Everybody knows her. Everybody's vouching for her sanctity and her purity. She could have been a great person. She was just involved in some stuff, obviously. Obviously, there's a reason that the cops came to her house. There's a reason the cops came to her house and served a warrant. Okay? Anybody who been in any kind of like situations like that, if those type of things are going on at your house, if a noted drug dealer has you as his address, a big time drug dealer at the center of an investigation has your house as his known address for 4 years, and up until the present time that the search warrants are being executed, your house is getting ran in. If packages are being delivered to your house and then being seen taken to known trap houses, your house is subject to be served a search warrant when everything goes down. And these investigations can last as long as they last. The whole Treyway investigation lasted 3 years. They wanted the investigation before they even met Tekashi 6ix9ine. They wanted the investigation before Tekashi 6ix9ine even started rapping. They wanted the investigation before he wasn't even a thought. You can come in after the investigation starts, but in this case, the investigation started when that body was found in a car rented by Breonna Taylor in 2016. So that's when it started. They have a lot of evidence, and I'm sorry that those people talked on the phone like that. I'm really sorry that those people talked on the phone like that and said all those things about Breonna, but they were scrambling, man. You sitting in your trap house, or you sitting in some place, and all of a sudden the door flies open, and it's the feds, and they got guns pointed, and everybody get down on the ground. Everybody get down on the ground. Everybody handcuffed, sped off to jail. Bunch of charges. It won't be over till that big girl from Decatur sing. East Point police don't know a damn thing. Well, yeah, they do. They know a whole lot. Okay? And they ain't gonna leave till they find them keys. So yeah, man. It is what it is, man. It's not even that deep. It's not even that deep. They in jail. They scrambling. They trying to call the lawyer. They trying to get out. They trying to get every bond money. It's all types of money. The one of the central figures in their organization just got killed. She's dead. They know her family and people gonna be mad at them. They might have some beef behind it. Because Breonna got people. She connected. Even outside of all that whole syndicate of cartel that she was involved with. She got her own people that she connected with. They're going to be mad about that. Then she dead. So they feeling some type of way about it because that's their girl. That's their associate. That's their partner. Then they facing a whole bunch of time. So they trying to get bail money. They trying to get out there. Then they got trap houses that need to be operated. They need to get back out because they got foot soldiers. They got street soldiers that eat off of them. They got people that take care of their money. Their money is all over the place. They can't spend a lot of time in jail. They need to hurry up and get out. And they need to find everything. Need to do everything they can to get out. So they're talking on the phones recklessly. And niggas don't think that they in that much trouble because they're always getting locked up too. Like y'all guys, y'all people in the comment section talking about Breonna this and Breonna Saint, you ain't black and you should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all only get locked up for protesting. If y'all ever been locked up. You locked up for protesting or beating on some girl. These niggas get locked up on drug charges all the time. They in and out of jail. It's a revolving door. They might get locked up 10 times a year. So talking on the jail phone crazy and recklessly is nothing for them. So when they do get locked up on something big like this, a search warrant would serve at 4 different addresses simultaneously, the end of investigation or the culmination of investigation, well, yeah, they still got those habits of talking recklessly on the jail phone. And really, this ain't the time to be talking recklessly on the jail phone because this is it. This is the big one. And they still talking recklessly on the jail phone. Nobody forced them to say those things. That's not some conspiracy that they said those things. That's how niggas do. Niggas don't think, you don't think that it's that serious. That they gonna record your conversation. You done talk like that. You done been arrested 20 times. These dudes are big time drug dealers. Nobody else ever came to them before about some damn calls they done made on a jail phone. But this time, because this is the end of the investigation. The investigation is over now. They're ready to push all their chips into the table. The city or the state or whoever's doing the investigation ready to push all their chips in front of the table, in the middle of the table. So now they recording your phone calls and they document them. And I'm sure they got the audio transcript too. I mean, not the audio. I just gave you guys the transcript. So it's not that deep. Regular hood shit, regular street shit goes down all the time. And as far as Breonna and the guys that's in my comment section, caping for Breonna and trying to make it seem like somebody's against her and somebody trying to do. Listen, this is just regular hood shit that she got involved in. A lot of girls are involved in that. Didn't you see how many women were involved in that? Dude's mothers was involved in this. Dude's baby mothers. His baby mother was involved in it. His child's mother. Her house could have got ran up in with his child in there. And who knows what could have happened. I mean, there was a lot of women in this organization, in this cartel, this syndicate, whatever you want to call it. Breonna wasn't the only woman. Now, she was probably the highest ranking woman and the most pivotal and had to serve the most roles, renting cars, having packages sent to her house, collecting the money, even being at the trap, picking up, driving, buying cars. She was very pivotal, intricate person in there. And it's a shock that y'all like, I can't understand why somebody would think she was. Let's just say she wasn't involved. Be honest. Let's just say she wasn't. Can you understand why somebody would think that she was? Let's be honest. Could you forgive somebody for thinking that she might have had something to do with all that was going on? Let's just say that she wasn't. Let's say she ain't no nothing. She just the unluckiest person in the world. And everything's a coincidence. Could you blame somebody for thinking that she was? And to the fellas, man, she wouldn't holler at you. Now, I like the thick chocolate joints, man. My Instagram, you go on my IG, all you gonna see is the thick chocolate models, man. I like them like that. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Breonna wouldn't holler at you square dudes, man, that's out here caping for her. She might not have been rude. She might have just been like, nah, I'm good. Or, that's cute. Nah, I got a man. Or, which would have been true, but even if she didn't, she would have told you she had a man. You guys is lame by the hood standards. You're not lame in life. In life, you probably got a lot going on. You probably the type of guys that, go far in life and in the real world. And outside of that little underbelly morass hood world that, is really like blown out of proportion how important it is. But in the real world, where, you need degrees, certificates, you need good credit, you need to make good decisions, you need to, what I'm saying, do the right thing, you need to follow the law, you need to stay out of trouble, you need to wake up on be places on time, you need to, be, just be a good person, not be involved in killing people and drugs and shit like that. Y'all guys gonna soar, and there's a lot of women out there for y'all. But Breonna, she probably wasn't one of them. She was in the street. She wouldn't even holler at y'all dudes. Gave y'all dudes the time of day. So it's just interesting that that's who's in my comment section berating me about. She wouldn't do nothing like that. She wasn't like that. She wouldn't do that. They lying on her. Whatever, man. All right, fine. That's what you think. Whatever. And yesterday the Breonna crowd tried to boycott the Kentucky Derby. Some shit black people ain't really even involved in the Kentucky Derby. And tried to go down there and say cause a fuss about the Kentucky Derby. That shit was shameful, man. And they asked this one black dude he's like the first black horse owner to ever get a horse in the Kentucky Derby. They wanted him to fucking boycott the Kentucky Derby because Breonna got killed. On some hood shit. This dude is like so not hood. He ain't got nothing to do with that shit. And they wanted him to do it. And he was like, nah, he's not his first chance. He not doing that shit. And it was shameful for y'all to ask this dude to boycott his one chance to be in the Kentucky Derby as a black man in an all-white dominated field, and y'all gonna ask him to do that. That was shameful. And he said, I stand with Black Lives Matter, and I stand for justice for Breonna Taylor. But as an African-American man involved in an industry that's not very inclusive to people who look like me, there's no way that I could sit out on one of the largest race days in the U.S. and not bring awareness to the contributions that African Americans have given to horse racing. And yeah, I mean, that was shameful for them to put pressure on. He's a coon and he's a sellout because he won't not race, put his horse in the Kentucky Derby. He won't put his horse in the Kentucky Derby because Breonna Taylor got killed in during War 4, search warrants was being executed on a drug organization. This dude is the opposite of that. He like the square dudes in my comment section calling me names and shit. That's what he would be doing. He ain't the type of dude to be dating Breonna or be working or be in that syndicate or be driving one of the Chargers she bought or rented. The type of dude to be using her address and whatnot, even when he not with her no more. Type of dudes being drugs shipped to her house. This is one of the square dudes in my comment section, okay? Calling me names because I won't ignore all the evidence, ignore all of the trail of evidence in the surveillance, and I won't proclaim that Breonna is a saint and she was set up and she had nothing to do with the police coming to her house. Now, her being killed, I'll agree with you on that. That's jacked up, but the police coming to her house, like, come on, man. Like, y'all must ain't never been had the feds run in your house. I've had them run in my house for less. And when I say feds, I mean police. I've had them run in my house for less. For way less than that. To hold this dude to some kind of stand like he's a coon. This guy's a coon because he ran it. So this dude don't know nothing about that hood shit and all that bullshit y'all talking about. This dude ain't got nothing to do with that.
Today, the Run for the Roses will start off a little different. The state song My Old Kentucky Home will be played, but without lyrics. The song has recently come under attack once again for its roots to slavery.
The song My Old Kentucky Home is symbolic of other systems in our country and in our city that were created to demean black people and to keep them in their place. And what white Louisvillians continue to do, and white Kentuckians and people in power and people with privilege continue to do, is adapt things, to make tweaks to make it better. You can't tweak it enough to make it right. It needs to go. It needs to go away.
The track will also hold a moment of silence. Churchill Downs says it will recognize the inequities that many in our nation still face and reflect on renewed hope.
So as you see, cops do 20,000 no-knock raids a year. 20,000. 20,000 no-knock raids a year in this country. All right? Well, they just come bust your door open. 20,000 of them. Because the reason I'm harping on that is because people trying to make it seem like this was some issue that was, they did this to black because Breonna, because she black. She a black woman, and you know. MS-13. Nazi lowriders. Peckerwoods. Aryan Nation, Harley Davidson, all those Hells Angels, the Mafia, all getting goddamn no-knock warrants put on their ass. The GDs, the BDs, the Crips, the Bloods, the Latin Kings, the Nietas, the Norteños, the Sureños. All these different gangs and groups all coast to coast is getting no-knock raids put on them. 20,000 a year. I don't know how many that is a day. Somebody do the math for me per day. But that's a lot of fucking no-knock raids.
Door's open. I'll get it. I got it, Jeff. I'm over to the left side. Police department, search warrant! Police department, search warrant! Fuck! Fuck! got to sit back over here with me. There you go.
Fire department, what's the location of the emergency? Who's shot? Who's shot now? Ma'am, is this watching there at your home?
Come right past you, Hector, okay?
Open the door!
Let me make a quick point about Jamarcus Glover and Kenneth Walker. First, Jamarcus Glover. I think what he's doing right now is good by not accepting that plea. And a lot of you guys think it's a conspiracy because the plea. I hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, the plea proves that everything was a lie about Breonna." No, the plea proves that he rejected it, maybe for selfish reasons, because they were talking about too much time. When you get caught, when you're in the drug game, you get caught up like this, they are going to come to you with a plea agreement because they don't want to go to trial because it's going to waste a lot of taxpayers' money and you're guilty as sin. They already have the stuff on you, so they know that they can come to you with a plea and you'll accept it because they have surveillance and tons of investigation evidence on you. So most of the time people reject pleas is because they're talking about too much time. Well, they may be talking about too many years in jail, and he wants a plea that'll get him less years in jail. But he's saying that he turned down the plea because they wanted him to say bad things about Breonna. Now that doesn't mean that Breonna didn't do anything. All that means is, because everything's in the investigation, all that means is that he's being a stand-up dude. He used Breonna's name as her address as his address. He used that as his known address. He used her apartment. He had stuff shipped to her apartment. She handled his money. She was intricately involved in his organization. And because of that, subsequently a raid was conducted on her house in which she was killed. So I think it's an honorable thing what he's doing. He's not going to talk about, oh yeah, Breonna did this and Breonna did that. The evidence already implicates her. They don't need him to, you know what I'm saying, to say that. So him not saying that doesn't have any weight on the investigation, but it is a good thing. I'm happy that he's not doing that, because aside from her own actions, her being involved with him directly led to that search warrant being served at her home. So him not adding on to the investigation, him not adding on to all the evidence that they have about Breonna's, about her involvement in the organization, that's honorable. She dead. You're not going to rat on a dead person. Salute to him. He's already spoken. He's already given them so much information by talking on the jail phones, and just by his just being, while he was being followed and while he was being watched. So they have a mountain of information on implicating Breonna just from his jail phone calls and his movements. So for him to not add on to that by saying things about Breonna, salute to him. Kenneth Walker, now he's suing. I would sue too. He's not the only person to sue. There's two guys who sued the police department. A black guy and a white guy that actually killed officers. McGee, one guy's name McGee, and one guy Marvin Henry. I think that's his name. Yeah, Marvin Henry, Guy McGee, and Marvin Henry. They actually killed officers during raids. And One didn't go to jail because, you know, he didn't have a lot of priors. The other guy, the black guy, he went to jail for it because he had a mountain of priors, like he was a career criminal. So, but this is not the first. Walker's not the first guy to shoot a cop that busts through his door in the wee hours of the morning. So if he gonna sue and get some money, I hope he wins. There ain't no sweat off my back. I don't give a. I don't care if he, you know, like. I hope he wins. I hope he gets a bunch of money. Hope he sues the pants off of him for that aspect of the case, because you gotta, when you can compartmentalize, which is something that our people can't do. You got to be able to compartmentalize it. Yeah, that aspect, yeah. Walker deserves to be able to sue. If he can, he'll win or he'll lose. But he has the right to sue them. Whether he wins or loses, that's a separate issue. But, yeah, I mean, Jamarcus Glover, him not accepting that plea, the state don't need that. And this whole thing, she dead and they trying to... Listen, Tupac been dead for 20 years. You niggas still talk about him. Nipsey Hussle. It was fucking 20 videos made about Nipsey Hussle yesterday. He dead. Go on YouTube. Put Nipsey Hussle name in the search bar. See how many videos was made about him just yesterday. All types of people dead that people still talking about. Y'all need to stop that shit just because somebody dead, you can't talk about them. But then everybody else who dead, you can talk about them.
As Louisville waits for answers in the Breonna Taylor case, we're getting a look at hundreds of crime scene photos Louisville police took after her death.
Smash.
Many are too graphic for us to show you, but the ones we can show you offer some clarity about what happened that night. Evidence markers littered the breezeway outside Breonna Taylor's front door and the sidewalk next to her patio the morning after the 26-year-old was killed by Louisville police. New photos obtained by WLKY reveal bullets ripped through her apartment from multiple angles, leaving visible holes in her walls. In her kitchen, bullets hit cabinets. Even a shoebox in a closet was hit. Taylor was shot several times in the early morning hours of March 13th as LMPD officers were trying to serve a search warrant at her apartment. Her body was found at the end of her hallway, which is in direct line of sight from her front door. Kenneth Walker, Taylor's boyfriend, said he and Taylor were standing in the hallway when the front door was busted down, with the battering ram pictured here.
The door, comes, off the hinges. So I just let off one shot. I still can't see who it is or anything.
Walker says after he fired one shot, he heard a barrage of gunfire. In a police interview, Sergeant John Mattingly, who was shot in the leg that night, said he fired 6 times.
So I just returned fire. I got 4 rounds off. And it was simultaneous, just boom, 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 boom.
The photos show bullet holes in the wall on the right side of the hallway and in the kitchen cabinets to the left of the hallway. Walker's gun, a Glock 43, was photographed near a bed in one of the 2 bedrooms. Investigators counted about 40 shell casings around the crime scene. The pictures show at least 10 bullets were fired from the front of the building. 5 shattered the patio door that led into the apartment, and another 5 hit a bedroom window. Detective Brett Hankeson was terminated from LMPD in June for blindly firing 10 shots from this location. Another 8 bullet holes were photographed in 2 other apartments in the building. A neighbor made this 911 call.
Now, just to let you guys know how that could happen. How that many shots could be let off. Well, the police bust in. Somebody shoots at them. The shooting starts. They shooting back. So now while they shooting back, they don't know who's shooting. They don't know where these bullets. They just know it's a shootout. And they going to shoot until... that's how shootouts work. Shootouts ain't pretty. There ain't no fucking method to them. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no clear... It's not a clean thing. It's just chaos. So once he shot, he set off a chain of events. Now, I'm not saying that he shouldn't have shot, because, the door bust open and shit, and he said he thought it was Jamarcus Glover. He thought it was Chapo. He thought that it was Chapo. That was the thing that he said initially. He thought it was Breonna's ex-boyfriend who was coming to kick their door down. Because, and you could understand why he thought that. If he knew Breonna, him and Breonna talk, she know that, girls always going to tell you about the other dude. When you're in a relationship with a girl, she always going to tell you about the other dude. When you the dude sleeping in the bed with her, you know everything about the other dude, and the dude don't know nothing about you. So I'm sure Kenneth Walker knew everything about Jamarcus Glover, and Jamarcus Glover knew very little about Kenneth. So he probably knew that she had money for him, and she was collecting packages for him and renting cars for him, and she probably knew he was a real serious street dude, and he didn't play no games, and you know what I'm saying. But so Kenneth already knew what type of dude the ex-boyfriend was, so he was aware of him, and he was prepared for him. So he thought that's who was busting in the door. That's why he shot. But the media don't want to tell you that, because that don't help Breonna, because it makes it look like, well, damn, she was dealing with a dude who was crazy like that, a psychopath, and put her new boyfriend in danger. Her new boyfriend was in danger because of the ex-boyfriend who was a big-time drug dealer. So they always tried to hide that fact that Kenneth Walker shot because he thought it was Chapo kicking the door down.
The night of the shooting.
Okay, our glass door is shattered, and I understand there's something going on.
Since the shooting, the department has maintained there is no body camera footage of the incident, but a photo taken of Officer Anthony James that night shows a body camera mounted to his left shoulder, although it's unknown whether or not it was switched on. Louisville Metro Police also photographed 2 pieces of mail with Breonna Taylor's address on them, but Jamarcus Glover's name, as well as a letter from Glover to Taylor. Now, Jamarcus Glover was the subject of that drug investigation, and he and Taylor had a prior relationship, although it's unclear when that mail was sent. Denny Camper, WLKY News.
And Attorney General Daniel Cameron's office is still investigating the case. On Sunday, Cameron said in a tweet that he has received the ballistics report from the FBI, but gave no indication when he will make a decision.
All right, y'all, I'm out.